Hey, Madeline.
Hi, Beane.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very glad that you're here.
I'm glad to be here.
Mm-hmm. You sound so good.
Thanks.
You really do.
Thanks. I felt really good today. I felt good.
Good. I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah,
That's
I felt comfortable. Yeah, I think it's just like the players I have today are, good friends and they're brothers, so they have that blood, synergy too. But I don't know. I felt really good today.
Good.
Yeah.
You were telling me that you haven't done much live recording.
Not as much as I'd like.
Okay.
I would definitely like to do more. I think it fits so much of my style. It fits so much of my art. I think I'm very expressive when I do things live. People can, see me actually playing and digging in and making certain choices on the piano versus what choices I would make vocally. And I think that's important for people to see from a live perspective for sure.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Have you struggled at all to translate that live energy into your pre-recorded music?
Oh yeah. I mean, you mean live or like in a studio setting?
Like when I go to record some of my music, I find that I have a very difficult time capturing the same kind of energy that I can in a live set.
It is definitely like that for me. Like I've noticed a lot of my demo vocals. I think it's just because it's the first one right out the gate or just because it's so fresh and I'm still kind of like learning the song and learning myself with the song. It always comes out really emotional. It always comes out like the best vocal. And so it's hard to recreate that sometimes. And, I think you're in your head too much when you're doing like two things at the same time too.
Totally.
And I always want to be like the Aretha Franklin or the Norah Jones and be like, no, I'm going to play piano and sing on every song. But there are some songs that, I need to lay off and just focus in on the vocal or vice versa, just focus in on the piano. And then there's other songs that lend to doing both. So I don't know.
Totally. I think that it is I feel you on that when you have the demo vocal and then you'll go into a vocal track day, sit there for 4 hours and still you're like, I like the demo vocal. Yeah. Sorry. And
I don't even know if it's just like you're more familiar with that one. I think it's just sometimes your intuition is overriding in those situations. And so your guard is down.
Totally. Do you ever perform live without keys?
I do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So do you think that the keys are ever like a crutch, or do you think that you're pretty comfortable with and without them?
You're asking me the hard question.
Is that hard? Is that what's up?
No, I mean, sometimes maybe. I definitely, when I went on tour with Stapleton, that was my first time trying to implement, how much of this do I need to step away from? Because I was playing for really big crowds. That was my first tour ever in my life.
So wild.
I'm trying to figure out, like, they don't want me to just stand behind a piano the whole time. They probably want me to get out and move around and interact with the crowd. And I am good at that too. And I love it because it's a moment where I get to like really, really connect with the audience. And so it's kind of picking those right moments in a show of like, okay, we're going to show off that I'm actually a musician. We're going to show off that I'm actually an arranger and I know what I'm doing and I've been doing this a really long time. But we're going to show all facets of my art and my talent and, also break away with moments in the show where I'm going to, rock out and friggin' whip my hair.
Absolutely.
And do some crazy shit. So, yeah.
Was his audience receptive to you?
They were.
Yeah.
They really were.
First tour.
That was my first tour ever.
Oh
do you
my God.
Understand? Like, that, you can't top that. Like, the bar was set high from
what do
the
you do?
get.
Yes, totally. And tell me, like, I just went on my first tour.
Yeah.
With an
equally
equally
incredible,
just crazy talented crew. And the imposter syndrome was wild and steady and constant.
Yep.
I know how I kind of compartmentalized it, but how did you deal? You were in venues that are probably 3 times the size that we were in.
Oh my
How did you deal with that?
That's a really good question. It was an interesting year. I had to learn a lot in the span of that year. I think
you learned so much.
Yes.
You learned so much.
Being on the road even just like a month will change your life. It'll give you so much perspective on music and this side of the industry. But I definitely deal with imposter syndrome all the time. I think we all do. I think there's some days when we think like, man, I'm the shit. Like I am that guy.
Yeah.
Like I'm that bitch.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And then there's other days where you're just like, no, I don't know if I deserve to be here. Like I still have a lot of work to do. And I think that's a good perspective because then it's humbling you to know you will never fit in a goal line. You will never have a finish line. You will always have to keep striving more and more. You're going to have to keep working harder to get to where you want to be, and sometimes that's unattainable because knowing you and me, I mean, like the goalpost is like way out here. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
I've come to enjoy that. I think that it, one, showcases a dedication to the craft, which you should never really lose. And then two, I think it also opens you up to like constantly wanting to reinvent yourself.
Yeah.
Especially today, I think when people get pigeonholed into a 30 or 60 second moment and then feel the need to like regurgitate that over and over.
For sure.
That's so boring to me.
The industry will discourage you from reinventing yourself. I've learned this time and time again. You know, it's the whole reason why I started in jazz first, if you can't tell, by the playing and everything. But I knew that I wanted to end in country at the very end of the day because that's where the storytelling is. That's where the songwriting is. And I didn't see that as much on the jazz side. And so, I don't know. I feel like reinvention is really important because it helps you know more about yourself, not just your art. Like art aside, like it helps you know who you are in here. What is your purpose?
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're multifaceted people. It's so boring to try to stick yourself in the same mold.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you.
We're multifaceted people for sure.
Where are you from?
I'm from Houston.
You're from Houston.
Go Cougs.
Tell me what you're thinking about getting tattooed.
Oh man, I'm getting like a big old astronaut girl. My mom's gonna be really mad. Sorry, Mom, but yeah, I'm getting a big astronaut girl. It's supposed to be kind of my my ode to Houston.
Yeah, it's as Houston as it gets.
Yes, it is.
Tell me about the music
Space
scene.
City.
I was in Houston for the. That's not true. No, I wasn't. No, we were in Dallas and Austin. Man, we're gonna give a big old cut to that part.
No, I think you should keep it. I think you should keep it.
Maybe.
Okay.
Houston, have me. Let's come. Tell me about the music scene in Houston. You talk about growing up singing jazz, but I don't think I could necessarily connect jazz to Houston.
Yeah, I mean, Houston is the third largest city in the U.S., I'm pretty sure. It's one of the most diverse cities in the U.S. as well. Wow. And it's a port city, which I have a song called Port City that's based around like that whole concept. And what people don't know is like with that much influx of culture and just art, like you're getting so many different styles of music. And a lot of it's underground. Like a lot of people don't know that Krungbin came from Houston. Wow. Like when they were coming up, like I got to see that on a ground level. Like the Suffers came from Houston. Toby Nwigwe came from Houston. You know what I mean? Like DJ Screw came from Houston. Like it's not just the rap scene. And I know Houston has an incredibly rich and incredible culture in hip hop. And I feel like it gets overlooked because there is a lot of really cool indie music coming out of Houston. And there's a lot of really beautiful country Americana and you know, it doesn't get highlighted, or if those people do blow up, you know, sometimes Houston gets kind of thrown under the radar as if it's like not the city that they came from. But yeah, you know, Toby Nwigwe is another really great artist. He's in the hip hop scene, and you know, I did Tiny Desk with him, and I did some features with him, and you know, you're just Lizzo. Oh my gosh, yeah, Lizzo came out of like all of these.
Beyonce's from too? Dallas.
No, Beyonce is from Houston. Don't get it twisted. Don't you get it twisted.
Can we cut that? Because I will get wrecked on Twitter. I'll get wrecked.
Will you?
Yeah. Oh, the Beehive? Stinging.
I mean, no press is bad press.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're spot on. But I think that I have there's almost jealousy is not the right word, but it's fascinating to me the Texas pride that people have when they leave the state and how much just like love and affinity they have for it. And it's rare that I've been able to talk to somebody about that love being rooted in specifically the music there. Yeah. And the culture there.
It's beautiful. I mean, like there's a lot about Texas that, you know, needs work as every state does, but I feel like Texas is one of those. I'll tell you a weird little story, if you don't mind. I'm about to be an old lady for a second. Let me tell you a story. So I worked in jazz bars when I was in Houston, and that was like my main bread and butter. That's how I put myself through school. That's how I helped my family. Like that's what I did, and I made a decent living doing that. And you know, I would play at these really, really wealthy clubs and steakhouses where you would see politicians, you'd see the Bushes come in, you'd see, you know, the wealthiest oil and gas people. And you can look at a table and see a Saudi Arabian prince next to this man in a cowboy hat with dip in his mouth that's voting for Trump. And you can see them with, you know, some dude from China that's doing an oil and gas deal with them. Because, like, if money's involved, they're all friends. Right. You know what I mean? Completely different cultures, completely different political beliefs, completely different religious beliefs. And it doesn't matter. Like, they're all just breaking bread with each other. And they're all, you know, it's just an interesting culture. And you see that even, like, in the streets. Like, you see these cultures combining. And you see everyone learning from each other and taking a bit from each other in terms of food or music or literature. And it's a really beautiful way of just kind of getting to learn the parts of the world, really. And it's all in one place. It was kind of a culture shock when I moved to Nashville because it's so white here. Yeah. And not that I have anything against white people. You know, my mom's white. I'm half white. Like, I'm half Polish. But, you know, it was definitely a culture shock when I moved here, coming from that rich of a city, moving to somewhere where, you know, I'd walk into a restaurant and maybe go 3 days in Nashville without seeing a single person of color. Wow. And just being like, wow, I'm out here.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you are. Out here. Nashville, figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, figure it out. The, like, kind of not collaborative spirit, but that kind of same spirit that you just described that's in Houston, in Texas. How have you taken that energy and applied it into, like, working with people in the industry?
Oh man, how much time do you have?
We got that.
Yeah, that's a really great question. I just kind of came into that a little bit, and I'll explain. But you know, I've been working. I put in a system. I was with a label, and now I'm independent. And you know, I've been in the system, so I know how it works. I know country radio is a really big deal here in town, as it should be. Country radio is a really big deal. It's a great way to start a really incredible career, and I think that might have been the one way of making a really stable career and a lot of really incredible income with music in this town. And it's just not like that anymore. Like, you're seeing everyone coming from New York and LA, and you're seeing just the vibrance that's coming in, but people don't quite know what to do with it yet. Like, especially the people that have been here for a long time. And so I feel like this is the first year coming into my own as an independent artist. I feel like my Saturn has returned, not just on a personal level in terms of my own personal growth with my family, my own personal growth with who I am, but I've seen in my career, like, I have the confidence to walk out into this industry and be like, I'm that bitch. Like, people see me as someone that they want to write with, someone that they want to ask about their artistry and be like, hey, I've seen you do this with your artistry. How can I accomplish this? And, you know, it's not a mentor role, but it's definitely like a, hey, I want to help guide people. I don't know. I'm an Aries. I'm an 8 on the Enneagram. I think it's the worst one. It's the challenger, which whatever. But I challenge people. And when I was an unhealthy 8, you know, it can be kind of bossy. Like, I'm a big sister. I'm the oldest. You know, it can be that at the end of the day. But if you're a healthy 8, you're a leader. And usually everyone around you, if you're rising, everyone's rising with you. All the boats are rising. And so I knew once I started going back to therapy and working on myself, like, especially with my career, I wanted all the boats to rise when I did. And so it's been really cool working with some of these artists and just writing for them and just talking with them, even just going to coffee with them and having relationship. You know, relationship is such a currency in this town. Yeah. You know, more than people think it is. If you're an asshole to someone, that gets around like that. So fast. Like, that is currency. And if there's one thing I know how to do really well, I might not be, like, totally on top of my shit with, like, emails or like finances or whatever. I'm learning and I get better every day. But if there's one thing I really know how to do well, it's how to love others and really pour into my relationships. And if that is a sense of currency here, then I want to take what I've learned in Houston in terms of collaborating and being selfless with my art and learning how to take a step back when I need to and learning how to push someone when I need to and implement that when I'm writing for other artists or when I'm producing for myself, when I'm producing with other people. So, yeah.
Where do you go from there? I like you. I really like do. You're so cool.
Let's hang out.
Let's hang out.
You want to come over for tacos?
I would love to come over for tacos. You've also said you've had so many like little isms that that I find myself saying all the time as well, which is just kind of cool.
Yeah.
Just the whole concept of boats rise with the tide,
Yeah.
and trying to be almost a counterculture in the industry that feels so cutthroat. It doesn't need to be that way.
Yeah, I want to be a safe haven for people to come and feel like if you just got dropped by your label, let's go have coffee, let's go write a song about it.
I'll pay for it.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I'll pay for it. Like, I got lunch. It's
Yeah.
on me. But I want people to feel like I'm the crazy wild-haired auntie that
Period.
they can come to and
Yeah.
feel like loved and hugged and feel the love of Jesus. And I'm just going to wrap them up like this and show them that they are valuable and that they are worthy. Because I think that's all people want is to know and be known, you know?
I think that the at least for me, the mark of what makes you somebody that I'm wildly excited about is that you perform with the talent that you have, but then
Thanks.
you conduct yourself with so much grace and humility. And
Aw,
I just think, I don't know, just so much more of that. Like,
Thanks.
please. Give me more, Madeline. I'm into it. And I can speak for everybody in the room, too, that, like,
Thanks.
you are achieving what you're setting out to do. Your
I
energy is
appreciate it.
wonderful to be around.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm so grateful
You're
that you
catching
had-
me on a good day.
Yeah? Yeah. Okay. Okay, hit me up then when you're on a bad day so I can get both.
Maybe
Yeah.
that time of the month or something. You know?
Sure. I got you. I'm a
All
Gemini.
right, cut
so
that. You can cut that out.
That one
it's
gets
fine.
cut?
It's fine.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
You're the best.
This
Yeah.
has been an absolute joy.
Yeah.
I'm a massive fan of y'all's. Like every single one of y'all. Y'all's videographers are incredible.
I know.
You're an incredible interviewer.
Sweet.
The audio team is incredible. Like I've been following the fact that Madison Cunningham could walk in this and be like, "Yeah, we're gonna wreck shop, bitch." Like it's crazy. Y'all are doing something right. So it's an honor for me to be here.
You're
really.
so sweet.
I
Thank
mean
you.
it. I mean it.
I like that about the squeeze. This is a little squeeze.
I love you.
Yeah, a little. I love you. A little transference of energy.
I know. I'm trying not to like break your fingers with
I
my
like
rings.
it. I normally wear big rings too. I have them in my backpack, but
Yeah.
so then we can knock
We
one
can
fight.
trade, yeah.
That'd be cute.
Yeah.
That'd be cute. Thank you for becoming.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Hey, stunning people. If you're loving our music, make sure to give us a like and a subscribe, and comment below who you want to see next.